What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, man. This is a no holds barred video. Gonna try my best not to cuss, but I'm just gonna deliver just a straight message, man, about this Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua thing. And I'm in agreement with I agree with what Anthony Joshua said. But honestly, what Deontay Wilder said about Anthony Joshua, but honestly, I think that he was being kind. What Deontay Wilder said was about all this stuff going on, where now the WBO was paying, decided to play Captain Save-A-Ho and get that panty waist Anthony Joshua and protect him. Deontay Wilder says, I knew I smelled ussy, but DAMN. I didn't know the odor was that strong, you coward. ASSBITCH. Had the world waiting for 3 months playing games just for this moment. You're not a true champion. You're just a weak-minded coward that's holding hard metal. All they had to do was say they were scared to fight, period. But instead, they made themselves look like what they are, not stand-up guys. I'm happy it's over now. I've done my part. The world has seen, so stay in England. Bingo. Stay in England and take Eddie Hearn with you. Eddie Hearn cannot sell ice water in the desert to boxers in the United States right now. This whole come over to take over the United States of America boxing game plan that he had to date has fallen on its face. Anthony Joshua has been completely exposed as a coward to the United States, hardcore United States boxing fans, and anybody that is honest about it. Even if you say Deontay Wilder played a role in it, which I don't understand, but even if you did, Anthony Joshua still looks like a coward. And if he doesn't look like a coward, he looks like a phony. And neither one of them are good. Anthony Joshua has lost all respect of many American boxing fans. I know he's lost millions of Mexican boxing fans because besides just the United States of America, there is another country that's directly associated with it, which is Mexico, and Mexicans support heavyweight boxing. Do you think they believe this nonsense coming out of Great Britain? I doubt it seriously, because they appreciate warriors, people that are going to get in the ring and take tough competition, even if those guys don't have a chance to win. They will never appreciate people that ask for $50 million and still get it and don't take the money, and then hide behind a paper title that they have. See, this is where I disagree with Deontay Wilder. He says you're not a true champion, you're just a weak-minded coward that's holding hard metal. That's not even his hard metal, Deontay. Those aren't even his belts. He's holding somebody else's hard metal. He's holding Tyson Fury's hard metal. And if the dude that just got done kissing a cruiserweight in the middle of a ring makes you look like a coward, exactly how soft you're looking. There's no excuse for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is a disgrace to the heavyweight championship. I had no way I could have predicted that Anthony Joshua would be a step down from the Klitschko's. A step down from the reign of the Klitschko's. They couldn't even face one another. Their boxing matches were snooze fests. But I missed them because they would actually get in the ring with the competition that was out there. Anthony Joshua hides behind numbers, hides behind his promoter, hides behind his paper titles, hides behind now, apparently hiding behind the WBA telling him, no, Anthony, you can't fight Deontay Wilder. You have to fight Alexander Povetkin next, as if they even have the ability to do that. Because in the one thing that is important to understand in this order that came from the WBC, the WBA, where the WBA said that they're mandating that you face Alexander Povetkin, is they can't mandate squat. And Gennady Golovkin showed you an example of that. Because the IBF said, face Derevyanchenko or we're going to strip you. If you decide after you have fought Vanis Martirosyan, if you decide that you are next going to face Canelo Alvarez in your grudge match, if you do that, we will strip you because you agreed that you would put on paper that you would face Sergey Derevyanchenko. Gennady Golovkin got stripped and took the bout. If Anthony Joshua said, you know what? I'm going to wait till Friday and wait for them to sign this contract, and then I'm going to take that bout in October. And WBA, keep your belt. Go have the number 3 guy in the WBA. Go have Alexander Povetkin face the number 2 challenger in the WBA, Fraser Oquendo. Phony WBA who somehow has Fraser Oquendo, a dang near 50-year-old man who ain't been in a boxing ring in almost 4 years, listed as their number 2 guy. Tell them to have Fraser Oquendo face Alexander Povetkin because you are going to go unify the IBF, the WBO with the WBC by facing Deontay Wilder. The WBA can't make Anthony Joshua face Alexander Povetkin. Just like the IBF couldn't make Dillian White face Kubrat Pulev. And the WBC couldn't make Dillian White face Luis Ortiz. They mandated those fights, and those were both fights that boxing matches that were mandated to a matchroom boxing fighter. And Eddie Hearn said, nope, not going to do it. Going to go do what we want to go do. And tried to get the WBO, tried to get the Jarrell Miller, tried to get the Dillian White, Joseph Parker bout made a title eliminator for the WBO. He tried to play that game. I don't think that game worked. But he told the WBC and the IBF no. So the precedent is set. The WBA, Eddie Hearn knows he can tell that WBA no. Sorry, we got a real big money bout over here with Deontay Wilder. And plus, my guy's going to look like a coward. Because, you know the saying that's not true, but everybody acts like it's true, that unification trumps mandatories. The unification trumps mandatories. Or, Mr. Moneybags, why don't you pay Alexander Povetkin some step-aside money? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't afford that. Because you can't afford to, you phony. You can't even afford to win a purse bid between Kubrat Pulev and Dillian White. And you can't win a purse bid between Kubrat Pulev and Jarrell Miller. And you dang sure can't win a purse bid for Alexander Povetkin and Anthony Joshua. Because you're a phony. Your numbers are probably phony. Your ticket scalping schemes that are exposed by Frank Warren, they're phony. You're selling tickets out in 30 seconds as if you got 15 million, as if you got 90,000 people standing in line, and there's anybody that can run through that many ticket sales in 3 seconds. Logic tells you that's not possible. You're phony. The whole thing is phony. Eddie Hearn, I've said this before. I've caught Eddie Hearn in more lies in 2 months than I've caught Bob Arum in 30 years. But most importantly, man, Anthony Joshua was just a disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace. You have boxers that would literally would take the most gigantic mismatches possible. Incredible mismatches. Probably not the most probable, but incredible mismatches because when they're fighting for $5,000. If you listen to what Errol Spence Jr. said about one of the reasons he's starting his promotional company, is that there are guys in gyms that are actually paying the promoter so that they can get on a fight card. They're paying to get on a fight card. But your prima donna phony self will turn down $50 million so that just stop lying. And that's what I'm saying. Anthony Joshua's not, that's the other phony part of this. Anthony Joshua ain't thinking. Anthony Joshua's not making any decision. Anthony Joshua is a horse in a stable. That's the truth. That's the apparent truth of the matter. Anthony Joshua is a horse in a stable. And he has no say-so over what he does. And during the brief moment that he had say-so, before he signed his 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn, that re-up, and who even knows whether he had any choice, because the dude might be in debt for all we know with advances and charges. Who knows what Eddie Hearn has done? There's plenty of promoters that there's a rich history of people making all kind of ridiculous amount of charges on your on a boxer's card, where they make X amount of, they make $100, but they wind up spending, according to the promoter's calculation, $300, 3 times as much as what their purse is. And don't act like or doubt that Eddie Hearn is not more than capable of being that type of guy, because he lies like a rug. Anyway, man, A-side. The A-side. We're the A-side. We're important. Don't you know we're more important? Anthony Joshua doesn't have to act like a man. He's the A-side. He's got the most money. He has the most people to come watch him. Ain't one of the top 20 heavyweights in history, not even close. This dude's ranking, this dude is so far below guys like Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, George Foreman, George Frazier. I shouldn't even say Muhammad Ali. Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, come on, man. Tyson Fury. This guy's career isn't even on par with Tyson Fury's. The fat guy kissing cruiserweights in the middle of the ring. It's just time for, and I'll say this again. This guy, to me, and I said this is a no holds bar video. I'm telling you what I honestly believe about this guy. I have no sympathy for Anthony Joshua. I have no respect for Anthony Joshua as a boxer. And I think the best thing that could happen for boxing is for this guy to go away, and for this guy to go away as quickly as possible. Because he's a fraud. He's proven that he's a fraud. There's only one bout away from unification of the heavyweight division. And he went from, and this is the man who said, maybe I'll just freeze him out. If Deontay Wilder keeps talking, maybe I'll just freeze him out. Deontay Wilder can't get in my boxing ring. Hiding behind the A-side against against the longest reigning heavyweight champion, while you're holding somebody else's belts. Because of what? Because you're the biggest boxer, because you're the most popular boxer in Great Britain? Because you're the most popular boxer in the UK? And claim, oh no, we're international. We've got what you got friends in France? Would somebody likes you, and what people like you in Spain? Right? You know what I mean? That, and those countries that are, a train ride away from you. Well, let me tell you what people think of you and that dude over here in the Western and this half of the world. They think he's a coward. And they believe, and no reasonable person that could be talked, just go talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody and explain the situation. He turned down $50 million. He asked for $50 million from a champion. That champion said that he would pay it, and then he turned it down because he didn't want to come to the United States to fight. Because he didn't want to get on a plane. They say, oh, was he scared of flying or something? They got boats, don't they? No. I don't mean he's afraid to fly. I mean, he's literally afraid to come to the United States because he thinks he's going to get robbed. Well, what difference does it matter if he gets robbed? It's $50 million. He can't get robbed. He's walking away with more money than he's walking away with $50 million. How do you get robbed? Robbed of what? Oh, those belts? Oh, how much are those belts worth? Oh, the belts really ain't worth anything. He actually has to pay to keep them. Those belts cost him money. Oh, that doesn't make much sense. No, it doesn't make much sense. Well, what's the other side's logic? Well, they say that he's the A side. Ridiculous, man. Anyway, it's overkill at this point. Anthony Joshua, I don't know of a weaker heavyweight champion. I don't even know of a weaker heavyweight champion. I would say that it would be John Ruiz, but no, man, I don't think so. John Ruiz would fight somebody. Maybe it was Leon Spinks, but no, Leon Spinks, would fight somebody. And I don't know. I mean, maybe one of those heavyweight champions that wouldn't. No, not Jack Dempsey, because at least Jack Dempsey would fight people, that had a chance to win. Anyway, man, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Disgusting.